within the radius of the love of God. The radius of the love of God is infinite. And within that, the circle of the solar system, all forms, each and every one of us, all souls, all lives revolve. We revolve within the radius of the love of God. So each son of God can enter into that wisdom and reveal to each of us the oneness of the many lives, that we're all connected at the end of the day. Hi, continuing on with Alice A. Bailey's book, Esoteric Psychology. We're on certain questions and their answers. This is continuing on with the question, what is the purpose of the soul? And we're on the purpose of the second purpose of deity, which is the second ray. The first three rays are the rays of aspect. So these are the rays that are the dominant rays that imbue and give attributes to, or give the character to the rest of the rays of attribute, the remaining four rays. So this one is, the second ray is love, wisdom. And so I'm going to read this quick little section here and also link to a Melchizedek meditation. I think it's the same one as the last one. They break it down, and there's a nice 18-20 minute meditation that I just did before reading this section to really get into the energy of this ray and to have better understanding as you study this. So continuing on, I hope you're all doing well. The second purpose of deity. Ray 2, love, wisdom. The word is issuing from the heart of God, emerging from a central point of love. That word is love itself. Divine desire colors all that life of love. Within the human hierarchy, the affirmation gathers power and sound. The word in the beginning was. The word hath dwelt and dwells in God. In him was light. In him was life. Within his light we walk. Within his light we walk. His symbol is the thunder, the word that cycles down the ages. Some of the names of this ray Lord, which convey his purpose, are as follows. The displayer of glory, the Lord of eternal love, the cosmic magnet, the giver of wisdom, the radiance in the form, the master builder, the conferrer of names, the great geometrician, the one who hides the life, the cosmic mystery, the light bringer, the Son of God incarnate, the cosmic Christ. The legend tells us that the 6 brothers summarize his qualities in the following aphorisms. Number 1, send forth the word and speak the radiant love of God. Make all men hear. The quality is love divine. 2nd, let the glory of the Lord shine forth. Let there be radiant light as well as radiant love. Quality is radiance. 3rd, draw to thyself the object of thy search. Pull forth into the light of day, from out the night of time, the one thou lovest. Quality, attraction. 4th, when light and love are shewn forth, then let the power within produce the perfect flower. Let the word that heals the form go forth. Let the word that heals the form, we are the form, go forth. That secret word that then must be revealed. Quality, the power to save. Remember, this is the ray that Christ was on, Christ consciousness, that Jesus power, that love, that healing. This is a ray of unconditional loving and the healing that it can bring to others. So it has the quality of love divine, the quality of radiance, the quality of the power to save, and last, 5th, second to last, salvation, light, and love, with the magnetic power of God, produce the word of wisdom. Send forth that word. and lead the sons of men from off the path of knowledge onto the path of understanding. Off the path of knowledge onto the path of understanding. So there's an acknowledgement of wisdom being a step beyond just knowing. Like Stephen Covey, I think, quotes a lot, is to know and not to do is not to know at all. Wisdom comes from understanding, or Seven Bomar, understanding. And this quality is wisdom. And sixth, within the radius of the love of God, within the circle of the solar system, all forms, all souls, all lives revolve. Let each son of God enter into this wisdom. Reveal to each the oneness of the many lives. Quality, expansion, or inclusiveness. And then it goes into a little paragraph that feeds into the next ray, or the third ray, so I think we're done there. I can go ahead and end it. This is a nice one, short and sweet. That last one is powerful too, because it's kind of like a culmination in what these explanations are. We build upon the fact that this ray represents one of the essential qualities of deity, which is to love, to be unconditionally loving, right? And to understand what that means, again, that's that meditation that I'll link to in here, because I read this and I wasn't really kind of connecting to it too heavily. Not that I don't have an understanding of what love is and love wisdom, but the connection between the two. How does one act when one knows love, when one understands the quality of this characteristic of divine love? It's not something that enables, it's not something that is passive or deals with, because I think about, unconditional love. People have the expectation that, oh, like a mother, you're supposed to just deal with anything, come what may, you just are supposed to, out of this obligation. It reminds me of, popped up on my feed here, those Shia LaBeouf making his comeback from his, his smeared reputation from his abuse and his, addictions and things like that, and how it culminated with his ex-girlfriend, the FKA Twigs lawsuit, and her speaking out some of the experiences that she had with him, and they were in a love relationship, or a romantic relationship, and how that was distorted and based on his trauma. Like she says it started with small things, like him saying that she needed to show him affection a certain number of times a day, or he was becoming toxic, that toxic expression of love, and crossing boundaries and things like that. And unconditional love does not love that person anyway. What it does, it does love that person anyway, but it teaches, it has an internal lens as well, because it has a wisdom. The leg of wisdom is, I understand what this being is going through, and I'm going to interact with it in such a way that also acknowledges my love of self, my love of my divine nature. Sometimes you can love from afar. It has boundaries. Unconditional love does not mean that. So the conditional love would be what he was doing, where he's like, you need to touch me 20 times a day, or else you don't love me, or you need to show me, you just all this kind of controlling love, that possessive energy, which is not love. So this talks about the gradients of it. Love is an expression of a divine quality that radiates. It radiates out. When you have that knowing of divine love, you have that radiation, and it shows out, shows forth to others that you have the capacity of an open heart to express something that a lot of people protect and shelter because it makes them feel vulnerable. And then it creates that radiance generates an attraction. So like he talks about early on, is what a flower, the essence that a flower is built in with this perfume, the scent that it draws you in. It's that attractive second ray element, that through that radiance and that expression of that divine love, you have this ability to attract. And because you have that ability to attract even that which is possibly broken or damaged, think of the Jesus character, then you have the next quality, which is the quality of the power to save. So through that calling in, you have that power to express to someone how you can love them anyway, how you can love despite, how you can overcome despite what you've gone through, which is why a lot of the, like in that Shia LaBeouf interview, I think I'll link that too, he talks about, how AA and how, it usually has some kind of religious aspects. I just watched that A Million Little Pieces movie as well. And another one on, I can't remember the name, it's about a drummer who goes deaf, and he has an addiction, and he goes to his rehab center for deaf people too. So it's been like this theme, this recurring theme of things that I'm watching, but it has this redeeming power. Love has this redeeming power to save, and they connect it through religion because it's really trying to get at this divine aspect, what this second ray is. And through that power to save, through that expression of that radiance and that attractiveness of healing and love, through this energy that is a divine quality that we all have, comes wisdom. And wisdom is the second to last one. I always skip it because the sixth one is on the second page, but that wisdom is what to do with that power to save and to attract. It's not to manipulate or to con or bring someone in. They're not bringing someone in through these 12 steps to get them hooked on religion, and it's a trick. No, it's a life source. It's like an energetic core that can refuel and keep these people going. The will to keep fighting another day, to understand that I'm connected to something that's bigger than me and my ego and all the things that, you know, Shia LaBeouf talks about in his interview. I think it's on Real Ones that I'm referring to. And then that final quality that it expresses is that expansion or inclusiveness. So once you have that wisdom that you are connected to this eternal force, this love energy, this divine expression, that you also have the ability to attract and to heal, to save yourself and others through this understanding of what divine love is versus what we see demonstrated through the media or whatever, is expansion and inclusiveness. And again, I'll read that sixth one. Within the radius of the love of God, the radius of the love of God is infinite. And within that, the circle of the solar system, all forms, each and every one of us, all souls, all lives revolve. We revolve within the radius of the love of God. So each son of God can enter into that wisdom and reveal to each of us the oneness of the many lives, that we're all connected at the end of the day. So that's why it's worth being unconditional, because just as easily as you could be in, you know, FKA Twigs' shoes, you could be in Shia LaBeouf's shoes. So it's that understanding. It's not permission to do harm. It's not an excuse for not loving yourself. She talks about it in an interview that she had when I was watching it too. I was like, I need to get both sides of this story before I forgive him. All right, that's conditional, but to understand the place of damage that a person is in, that allows them to learn these lessons. And then going back to the meditation that I'm going to link in here too, from the Melchizedek, I think it's from the Apex channel or something like that. Anyways, it just talks about how we get to a place where I completely lost my thought. Damn it. Anyways, it's a good meditation. It's, you know, a little cheesy, but if you listen to the words and you listen without judgment, I think that the point was that, oh, you can cancel that soul contract. So at some point in the big scheme of this thing called life, we make these contracts that we need to learn through suffering or lessons until we get it, right? And it goes through an exercise where we reach out to these different realms and aspects of ourselves at different times when we were hurt or we felt pain and lack of love, and then get to the point where we heal and love and release that in exchange for canceling that contract with that need to learn through those lessons of pain and those experiences, so you can move forward, like let that go. But if we still need it, we keep it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this here, just under 15 minutes. Yeah. All right. Talk to you later. Have a great day.